Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Hello. We have a mystery joinee by the name of M. We don't know who M is, but hello, M. Nice to see you, Richard. Nice to see you, Alex. Alex was with me at the Air Canada event and the meetup, of course. I hope we'll have a good chat about what we sort of experienced over the weekend. So at least I have Alex here who can back me up or correct me along the way. So I'm glad he's able to join in as well. Farzan is here. Hello, Farzan. Welcome, welcome. Right. So yeah, I mean, how's everybody doing? I think the best way to get this started would be to say, wow. I mean, I know this is a bit of a self-pat, but this past weekend when we got to do the Gate Gourmet tour, thanks to Air Canada and the Air Canada executives for sort of sticking with me for long enough that we were able to do this. I was super impressed. This was perhaps the most fun I've had at an event, and like I said, it feels like a self-pat, but I genuinely mean kudos to Air Canada and the Gate Gourmet team for putting out that kind of experience for us points nerds because review was glowing. Yeah, I mean, review was glowing, says Heather. Uh, yes, I mean, it is. I mean, to be honest, even thinking back to it right now, I feel like uh, that was the best experience I've had, meetup or not. And then to be able to have that level of genuine conversation with the executives of an airline, in person and not just doing it as an interview or as one of these online things that I've been doing in the past. And for that long, yes, Alex, correct. And Alex would know this. I mean, Scott had lunch with us, sat at our table, and was chit-chatting very sort of, openly about what he could share with us, what he couldn't share with us, the reasons he couldn't share things with us, and sometimes even hinting at things, talking about competitors, and being very upfront, which was fantastic to see. Um, so yeah, where do we begin? I guess I can tell you a little bit about what we went through and whatnot. So as soon as we got in, I think the first things first, everybody got a nice little goodie bag, which had I haven't even looked at. Alex, have you looked at what aircraft we got in that little box? So we got aircraft replica. Uh, so that was fun to see a nice little goodie bag, some merchandise, Air Canada merchandise and whatnot. But more than that, it was the appetizers, the welcome drink, and the genuine welcome from the Air Canada executives, which was fun and sort of got everybody, eased into the event because oftentimes if you haven't been to these brand events or corporate events, things can feel a little uptight. The initial interaction can feel a little sort of stiff, can feel a little reserved, but they broke through really well right away with all the attendees. So that was fun. We got to have what did we have? The shrimp appetizer was fantastic. There was some warm bread and things like that that sort of really got the mood going and kind of felt like you had a good mixture of a corporate event slash brand event plus also having the elements of that signature suite experience on the ground, which is fun to do. Um, Alex says box unfortunately doesn't say the make or model of the plane, or at least I didn't find it. I haven't opened it, and I can tell you at least two people who weren't part of the event have messaged me separately to ask, "Hey, can I get the goodie bag if you have an extra one?" Unfortunately, I had to say no to them because I want to maintain the exclusivity of things. But yeah, that just goes to show you people were watching the proceedings and they felt like they were missing out on something. So yeah, once that initial meet and greet was done, we were sort of given our the fashionistas that we are, we were given our what I'm calling the COVID garb, because we are going into a food facility for a full tour. So yeah, we got into that, which was fun, and we took a big group picture with all of us in that attire, which was fun. Aprons, yeah, schmucks. Says Heather. Yeah, yeah, kind of like that. Or like I said, not COVID garb is what I'm calling it. And the tour itself was fascinating, to be honest. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting what we got because it was both engaging and fun, and you could still have elements of geekiness in there when you went through the tour because they took us from like the delivery bay where they were getting all the fresh produce and everything else all the way through to where things are sorted, cooked, plated, packaged, sent on to the next delivery bay, which, and we got to walk into the final delivery bay as well, where we were able to see some of the flights that food was actually being delivered to within the next hour or so. So it's just fantastic. So, end to end, that entire ability to be able to see that. And what blew my mind was how many people are involved in just getting you that one perfect plate of food in the air. So that was very humbling to see how many people are involved in curating your experience in the flight. Um, and again, that's the thing. I don't think I'd given it enough thought in terms of what goes behind it, other than the fact that I'm going to be in signature class. I better get the best food out there because that's my expectation. I just never given it a thought as to what else goes behind it. Even to the point of the tour, I was like, yeah, once we go in there, I'll get to see all the food being made and plated and done. I was just blown away with the number of people that were involved in that enterprise and how sort of coordinated it had to be and how meticulous it had to be. And of course, you could see the organized chaos that was that space, which was yeah, I had a great sort of what's it called, reflection on it. I think Donna said it perfectly, which is it'll be difficult to sort of wholeheartedly complain about your food on the flight now because you kind of know how many things have to go right before you get the food in front of you. But came back out of that tour with nothing but gratitude. Uh, for the people that put in that kind of work to get our in-flight sort of product going. Yeah, so that was in a nutshell. That was the tour itself, and then we got back to the event space, where we had a fantastic lunch. Let me tell you, each item that was being served, and we were given options of five or six to pick from in advance, and it included barbecue pork, the fish item, pasta item, and I'm making it sound boring, but it had all elaborate names and everything else. There was a chicken item as well. Again, all of those things that were given to us. The funny thing, the one thing I sort of found not funny, curious, that 14 of the 21 people had picked the sable fish, which had the Hawksworth notation on it. So I think that it had something to do with it, that it had Chef Hawksworth name against it. So I think it had something to do with it. But so we all got whatever we had pre-ordered. We enjoyed that. And this is where I love the geekiness of Air Canada executives. But Scott was really keen on us because our table, five, six of us that was sitting at our table were mostly like fish. I think one person had barbecue pork ribs. Um, and Scott was having, I think Scott had the pork ribs as well. Anyways, he was really keen on the table trying out the chicken because he said, hey, I know it sounds like it's just chicken, but trust me on this, you guys need to try chicken. So he ordered a bunch more, couple of people doubled up on their order and they ordered seconds. And let me tell you, I have never, ever tasted up in the flight, down anywhere. Uh, Chicken that juicy and well presented on a plate anywhere before this. It just absolutely blew my mind how good that was. And who was it? It wasn't Alex. One of the people that was sitting with us, they said that they had just had the fish a week before that same item, and it tasted good. Not maybe not as good as on the ground, but they said it was very close to it. Which, yeah, Alex is saying the chicken was stellar. Heather is asking, is the pasta better on the ground? To be honest, Heather, I do not recall anybody having pasta. Shocker. Because all of our bench lines or benchmark for pre-ordering our meals were what we had tasted up in the air, right? Um, so yeah, I don't think trying to think back to all the pictures I've taken. I don't think I don't think there was anybody that had the pasta. But everybody, whatever they ordered, nothing but superlatives in terms of the quality of food. Chef Cash, I think his name was, he was available as well, not only leading the entire the food prep and leading the entire thing. He was available to answer all of our questions, take feedback, immediate feedback, ask about what were some of the shortcomings when we had the same thing in flight, or what were some of the things that we had sort of eaten from other airlines that we think we Air Canada can catch up to or become better at. So very honest conversations were had, which was fun to see. So that was great. Alex is also quoting Timbo on Schultz's cult dress code. Oh yes, that's Timbo too mentioned, made a comment about the cult dress when we all got into the COVID garb. Yeah, so the thing was fantastic, but I think to me the second highlight after that, the behind the scenes tour of Gate Gourmet, um, very close to, if not just about there, was the Q&A session, because the Q&A session really allowed all the attendees to reflect on not just all of the flights they had taken to Air Canada, but also what they had just experienced with Gate Gourmet's tour, the lunch itself, the difference between the taste of food on the ground, up in the air, and everything in between. And we had such great conversations around in-flight product, everything from Wi-Fi onwards to the food and what's coming and what up in the pipeline. And I can share a few of those with you. None of it was sort of breaking news, because we had heard snippets of it here and there from other interviews from the executives. So where can we, and I'll again lean on Alex if his memory is better than mine, but some of the items that we spoke about, kind of because we are talking food themed, just a day or two before that event, Air Canada had announced their partnership uh, with the kaiseki meals. What was it? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, Air Canada had announced their partnership with Michelin star chef Masaki Hashimoto when they had introduced the kaiseki meals on all Japan and Air Canada, with Japan and Canada flights. So all the flights between Canada and Japan on Air Canada have now been introduced, have now will now carry kaiseki meals. And kaiseki, from what I understand, uh, kaiseki is a highly specialized sort of traditional Japanese cuisine, where think of it like small plates. Uh, and so Scott used that as one of the examples to tell us what Air Canada is trying to do. Is what they have done now is, through these specialized partnership with chefs and their entire culinary team, which we've known, Chef Hawksworth is part of it, Chef Vidge from Vancouver is part of it, and I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm forgetting right now. But the menu has been evolving. The menu has been evolving rapidly. Just last year, they introduced 100 plus recipes across their entire network. So what they're really trying to do is more and more, now you can pick your own meals in advance. They're going to introduce specialized meals for pre-ordering before every flight, especially on long-haul flights, um, and bring you closer to that concept of sort of book the cook. I think Singapore Airlines was mentioned in that conversation as well. So they're going to bring that concept fully, and Air Canada is on its way to full implementation by next year. So starting March this year, we've already seen a few routes get more options for pre-ordering your meals. We'll see more and more specialized meal items available to us to order in advance, which is fantastic. And it'll go the full spectrum, where we'll have a robust selection of meals to pick from. And they quoted Singapore's Book the Cook as a concept. So I think that's where they're headed in their own way through their own partnerships, which was fantastic to see. So yeah, that was in flight. Oh, sorry, couple of comments here. Andy, yeah, kind of like tapas, Heather. I was refraining from using the word tapas for kaiseki, but I also, my limited brain cells couldn't give me the right words. But yes, in a nutshell, not in a nutshell, in a way, kind of like tapas, small plate servings, traditional Japanese cooking or cuisine is kaiseki. Andy says these days, Toronto or Montreal back and forth to Delhi catering sucks. Back and forth to Delhi. Andy, are you talking about India? Um, Okay. So I haven't done, actually, no, I did. When was it? Yeah, I think Priya did that long haul flight. But when I did that recently, the food that I went during the holidays and it was a holiday menu that they had going and it was really good. But again, maybe the ones that you've been on haven't been up to the mark. M says, just wanted to send a quick note to say thank you for putting together such a great event. I was one of the Air Canada employees there, and I really appreciated all the effort you put into making it a success. Oh my God, am I okay? Thank you. This is, I didn't realize that Air Canada employee was part of this chat, and but hey, thank you for being there. Thank you for putting that event out. It was, yeah, like I said, so one of the best experiences I've had from a brand, let alone from a loyalty program that brought us in to show us where the magic happens. So thank you. Andy says something, sometimes even no menus. Oh, Andy's really going in on the Air Canada uh, long haul flights from Canada into India. Interesting. Okay. Do I have anything booked for this year? This year is the year of Air India for me. So I've already booked three Air India flights for the pure purposes of doing some reviews and also seeing the good, the bad, the ugly. Um, so I'm on the new Delhi, New York A350. I'm also doing the older 777-300 from Melbourne to Delhi. I'm also doing the ex Etihad metal that comes from Delhi into Washington. So I'm doing quite a few of those Air India flights. So unfortunately, uh, me going to India and back, if I'm swapping, just doing Air India, which means I miss out on some uh, Air Canada experiences, but stay tuned. Let's see how that goes. And maybe Andy, give them another chance, and maybe the menus will improve. And oftentimes, again, not giving them an out. And by no means am I trying to say that Air Canada has everything down pat right in the food department or in the in-flight service department. It What I'm impressed by is how forthcoming they have been about their shortcomings and where they have fallen short and what they are planning to do, or and even involving us to get some of that feedback, to talk about things that can be done to get things right in the future. And that's the piece I'm impressed about. And of course, there will be an hey, look, I some of us ask questions during that Q&A, which involved, I can tell you my questions revolve around why is the cutlery always ice cold when I'm trying to eat my meal because I hate that? And why can't I get softer butter for my bread? Why is the butter always hard? Because those are common complaints. And during our fun chat, there was also conversations about the omelet. Is that omelet going to stick? Do people like the newer version of the omelet being served, or the traditional old version, which came with the red pepper sauce, which was slightly on the sweeter side? And to my surprise, the room was evenly split because some people that do like their breakfast slightly on the sweeter side. I think that's my take from it. Uh, did say that they prefer the older plating of the omelet with the red pepper sauce and the red roasted potatoes. I think that's what it was. The newer one is a lot leans heavy on the savory side of things. Slightly, what is it? With a little more spicy sauce and things like that, which I prefer. So yeah, the room was split on that. So we had fun conversations on omelet. You can't talk about Air Canada signature class and not talk about omelet, I suppose. So that was discussed with great enthusiasm as well. Uh, eh, right, Iyad says, just wanted to say the opposite. I'm still FOMOing hard. Sorry, Iyad. Iyad, hopefully Ramadan is going well for you. You're fasting and all of that. If you are, I shouldn't assume. If you are, hopefully goes nice and easy for you. Sorry that you had to miss out. Iyad had stuck with us the last two times we tried doing this. Iyad was very much on in that list and had himself in there, but unfortunately missed out because yeah, Ramadan was already on by the time the third attempt happened. So Iyad and a few others missed out. But like I said, for those that made it, it was fun. Um, Andy, oh right, Andy saying the new catering is great now on Air India. Andy, I think you're making a sweeping statement about Air India here. Just So, word of caution for those listening in, depends on what routes you're flying and what aircraft you're flying. But I think you'll have to wait for me to finish up these three trips that I have, which are coming up between spring and summer. Between by late summer, I think by August, I would have done all these three sort of aircrafts, different regions. I'm doing Australia, going into India, India to US a couple of times. I'll have a decent idea of what's happening with Air Canada menu. Not saying that your reviews and your feedback are not valid. I'm just saying that I'm trying different products in different regions, so it'll give me a good idea of what Air India is up to these days with its menu and service and aircrafts. To be honest, Richard says Air India always seems to make it to the. Yeah, Air India does everything it can to be in the news. Speaking of, I think Richard is nudging at the recent news about Chicago to somewhere, the flight to Chicago, and they jammed the toilet because some genius thought that shoving clothes and flushing them down the toilet is the best thing to do, and it jammed everything else. So the plane had to be diverted. That's the only. And when I read these headlines, I don't try and read past them because it just makes me shake my head and hate on a product that I shouldn't. As somebody that likes to travel, that somebody likes to experience different aircraft, different airlines, I try my level best to stay away from such horror news because then I don't want to completely, I don't want to be repulsed to a point where I wouldn't try them. Um, which, to be honest, with the recent news with all of Air India, uh, remember the COVID days, like people peeing on each other, like all of that just made me so repulsed by it. It has taken me a solid 5 to 6 years since I've been back on long haul Air India. So we'll see how it goes in the next few weeks and months. But yeah, Andy's saying I recently took a London to Delhi round trip, and they even have a totally separate tray based on the food you chose. Okay, cool. Huh, nice. Let me realign. Where were we? We were talking about the Q&A and all the questions we had for them and the discussions we had around it. Yeah, so the Q&A was broad and open. We were talking about Andy was also part, not Andy, the person that's in our comments. What was her name? She goes by Andy. She is the director of in-flight product with Air Canada. So basically anything and everything that you can think of. So not Wi-Fi because that's kind of technical team, but everything from food to all in-flight product services to the linen that you get to the pillow that you get to everything amenity kit and all of that was all part of her job description, I suppose, or job jar. So it was great having her there because she was able to give us immediate insight into why were the things the way they are and what can be done and what can't be done. So yeah, great conversations with Andy as well around that in the Q&A session. Uh, so yeah, I kind of mentioned that they're trying to do this entire thing. They're bulking up their menu with specialized items, which you'll be able to order beforehand. And I think there was some mention, not at the Q&A, but may have been at a separate forum, that they're gonna continue bringing on more features into the app. So you may be able to do that even in your app and do your pre-booking of your meals before your flight. Um, the other important revelation was sort of the roadmap for Air Canada lounges, especially in Canada. So the ones that they were able to speak to, and again, like I said, they've spoken about these and this in bits and pieces in several interviews, including our own last year when they were here on this forum on What's the Point. They did share some of it with us at the time as well. So Scott was able to confirm that Montreal was getting a 56-seater Air Canada Cafe, which is a grab and go concept coming very soon, like imminently, he said, in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. Once the cafe is fully operational, the one in Montreal, the domestic Maple Leaf Lounge will be shut down for a complete revamp, which is great news for everybody. If you've been to the domestic Maple Leaf Lounge in Montreal, it was beyond just showing its age. So I'm glad that they are completely redoing it. And eventually, after the domestic Maple Leaf Lounge is completely redone, Montreal will also get a signature suite. Which is fantastic. So this will be the third location after Toronto and Vancouver to get a signature suite will be Montreal. But they didn't. He wasn't able to share a timeline because I think he used something vague like by the end of the decade, which then I realized, oh, we're already 2025. So I guess in the next 3 to 4 years, Montreal is also slated to get its own signature suite as well, which will be fantastic. And he did confirm that it won't be ground level, it'll be at the mezzanine level. So yeah, lots that can be done. Wasn't able to tell us anything beyond that. Speaking of signature suite, Toronto signature suite and Montreal and Vancouver signature suite will also be upgrading. And those are more facelifts and upgrades, kind of like what London Maple Leaf Lounge or the Frankfurt Maple Leaf Lounge got. So think about better connectivity, a little better seating, refurbished sofas, and things like that. So the signature suite will go through a bit of that change as well in Toronto and Vancouver. Speaking of Vancouver, Vancouver is going to get, and somebody will have to correct me if I heard that correctly, not one, but two Air Canada cafes. So Vancouver right now doesn't have any Air Canada cafe. So great news for those out west. What I was thinking was perhaps one in domestic, one in international. Again, the concept is going to be very similar to what they have in Toronto. Maybe one is going to be grab and go only, and the other will have a bigger seating area. Not sure. They did not divulge any of those details with us. But yeah, they something interesting that Scott sort of confirmed. Scott said we were talking about, uh, again, the obvious question about how much pressure has having a premium card access put on lounges. And Scott said something interesting. Scott said that there's a big spike, a big growth in people, in leisure travelers using lounges, especially because they tend to stay in those lounges much longer than your typical business class traveler, because that business class traveler is just there for a quick grab and go kind of thing. So they were doing that as opposed to a leisure traveler who would sort of come in, try out a few things, hang out for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever the case might be. So that was an interesting tidbit, because I probably would not have thought of that. I mean, I don't consider them as two distinct groups, but obviously they are. The leisure traveler will spend a little more time because they're looking to put more value. So yes, we kind of got sense of that when they put in the 3 hour limit at the start of your journey. There's no lounge limit. There's no timing limit on lounge visits if you're transiting anywhere. But if you were starting at a certain point, say starting in Toronto, then Maple Leaf Lounge or the Signature Suites have a 3 hour limit, just to make sure that crowding can be controlled in a constructive way. Right. So that was about the lounges. Uh, Other really interesting bit Scott was able to share was Air Canada is looking at ways to personalize signature cabin amenities. Uh, and in regard to sort of think about the amenity kit, what they said was they noticed that most people, and he made a fun comment about uh, people that initially start traveling in Signature Suite will take the amenity kit, not even touch it, and then go and sell it on eBay. They come back the second time. So they might do that the first couple of times, and then they get used to Signature Class enough that they start to sort of use whatever they need from the amenity kit and then leave the actual kit behind. So that continues to happen, and they were focusing particularly on waste and also probably looking at where they can save a few dollars. So what they started doing on some very specific routes was they started giving slim versions of amenity kits. So think about so that had no so think like a very basic kit which had like toothpaste, toothbrush, your socks, and that's about it. And the other items that you would need, so let's say a lip balm or any of the other things that you use, like a facial mist or whatever the case might be, or a moisturizer, that was being provided to Signature Suite passengers by the cabin crew in like a basket. So they would come around and invite you to pick up as many as you want from that basket. And they were surprised to see that people were doing the same. So the regular flyers of Signature Suite signature cabin were doing the same thing. They would use one or two things, even from the basket. They were only picking very specific one or two items that they would need, and in that they were not only reducing the waste, uh, they were that that little act of the crew member coming, welcoming you on board, and allowing you to pick whatever you needed from the basket went a long way in terms of personalization, having that human touch, which I thought was really well thought. And given that they have now found success doing it, there is some notion that they might be expanding that kind of delivery, service delivery, to other signature routes across the world. I thought that was a good way, because I don't know about you, how many of you actually use every single thing in the kit? Or in fact, how many of you that are listening to this right now still take away the kit with you? Because I've noticed this about myself. Unless it's a new airline, unless it's a new product, I leave the kit. Sort of, I use socks. If it's an overnight flight, I'll use the toothbrush and the toothpaste. I pretty much, other than lip balm, do not use anything else that they give. So that's it. So I'm also using just one or two things that they might be putting out. Notice a few comments here. Heather saying packing cube material versus stiff or padded material would be my preference. Making you feel greedy if you take everything offered. No, not necessarily. They, in fact, Scott mentioned that they welcome and invite people to take as much as they want from the basket, and yet people would only take one or two things that they needed for the flight. And again, the point here is that these are people that travel in business class and signature class more frequently than the typical leisure traveler who might do it once a year and then may feel greedy enough to not only just take everything that the amenity kit comes with, but also take more than two, three, four, five items from the basket. Uh, so yeah, so it does reduce waste, it does reduce cost, so that's a good thing for both parties, I suppose. Heather says, I like innovative kits. Lufthansa had carrier bags that I kept. Yeah, me too. I like innovative kits. It's something that can be kept as a memento, but over the years, I've gotten so jaded, is perhaps the word, uh, with the amenity kits, is I mostly pick up the amenity kits to give away at events. I do not sell them on eBay. I've never sold them on eBay. But to those that want to still do it, whatever. You do you. Uh, Parm is here. Parm says, I leave the kit as well, only use hand lotion, eye mask, and earplugs. Yeah, yeah. I think, Parm, that's what they were trying to emphasize, that more and more people were doing that, more than they had originally thought were doing that, who were picking up two or three very specific things to use, and everything else was left aside. Yes, Andy. Yeah, I like that too. Air Canada never used to consistently give slippers, but slippers are now a thing. And in my last couple of long haul flights, I've been proactively given slippers. Sometimes they're placed by the thing, uh, and sometimes they're brought in. No, actually, they both times I think were placed before I even got to my seat, which was fantastic to see. Yes, I'm a big fan of slippers. I don't like people walking around bare feet. I also don't like people walking around in aircraft with their socks on, because again, so having slippers is such a nice thing. Yeah, everyone else can have the overly perfumed items. Yeah, that's a trouble for me as well, Heather, not just you. As I'm getting older, I am becoming more and more sensitive to strong scents and perfumes. So I very much stay away without insinuating anything. Middle Eastern carriers can be very heavy on their perfumes and things like that. So I do my very best to, no matter what perfume they're giving me, I keep that away from me. Um, Richard says, I still take all the kids, good for giving to people staying over at home or random stocking stuffers. Oh, 100%. Yes. How could I forget stuffing it during the holidays? Yeah, great gift. And Richard, good point for people coming at home. Good point. Good point. You were getting a thumbs up from Heather about that point. I keep unused slippers for guests as well, says Heather. Yeah, better than socks, says Andy. Yeah, Heather, I think they're getting better. Some airlines are getting better about heavy cologne or perfume use in bathrooms, especially as you walk in. But yes, using a refresher, mist is a lot better. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I was happy to hear that that's what they'll be trying, and I'm looking forward to if they bring me a basket, it'll be a nice. I think I'll just go for that lip balm, and I don't know what else would be in there, but I'm assuming it'll be the lip balm, the mist, facial mist, or moisturizer, or something like that. But yeah, right. What are we? Chris says Jal has some cool USB and phone holder thingies. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, and Heather is saying some people really like the bag itself. Yeah, I've done that with a few. Which was it? I think Emirates recently, and I asked the crew member to give me uh, because they had the gendered thing. Men were getting one kind, women were getting one kind. So I asked them to give me. I told them I did not want the kit itself, but if they had an extra one for the women, I would love to take that for my wife. That's what I mentioned because yeah, the bag was much nicer, slightly blingier, if you will. So I took that, and yeah, it came home with me. It's sitting at home somewhere, completely unused, sitting there for the next event where I can bring it and let event attendees have that. So it's sitting here with me somewhere. Yeah, I don't like the gender aspect as well. I want the choice too, but I think here in North America we lean too heavy on these things about uh, gender, and in this matter, I'm not again. Do not get me wrong. What I mean is for airlines to make this into a gender thing just seems a bit outdated, but whatever. Parts of the world that still live in very much the X and Y world. It is what it is. I'd take what they're offering as long as they're open to giving, which in this case Emirates was giving me an additional one, a female amenity kit or a women's amenity kit. I'm happy with it. Right. Wow. I So we've just spoken about all the things that had been covered in that event for us. Let's transition and talk about, should we transition and talk about our lovely new credit card, or do you have folks have other comments to make before we switch out? Let's see. If you can pre-order food, should be able to pre-order amenities. Great. Yeah, good thought, Heather. Good thought. I wonder if they're able to personalize it to that end. I think, yeah, you might be onto something. Grimsley says, I got two back-to-back Oman Air first flights. I got men's amenity kit on the first flight. When I asked for the women's, Oman FA asked me if I was sure because apparently some men would get offended. What? Okay, this is what I meant. Like some parts of the world are so hung up on this gender business. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm sorry, Grimsley, that this happened, but what can you do? I hope you stood your ground and said, nope, definitely sure. And whoever wants to get offended can get offended. Don't care. All right, let's transition to so talking about Canada's only metal card with no foreign exchange fee, which is obviously I'm referring to the new card which was Scotiabank introduced their latest and greatest, the ultra premium Passport Visa Infinite Privilege card, which was announced recently, which took me by surprise, to be honest. I kind of didn't think that they would venture into this world of the premium card offering, but they have, and it's decent. My immediate reaction would be it's not busting through doors, it's not beating Amex and other VIP cards or Amex Platinum and other VIP cards in the market and not putting them out to water, but it's a strong card. So about the card, a welcome bonus of 80,000. And given the ratio and given this group, I'm going to talk in terms of travel. So the best you'd get is 800 bucks is what we are talking about. But what I found was the breakdown of how you get those points. 30,000 points with 3,000 spent, which is decent. The next 30,000 is on $20,000 spent. I think that's way too steep. And then another 20,000 points is more of a retention in month 14. So if you compare that to, say, a TD, CIBC VIP card, or even RBC VIP card, that overall spend of 23,000 or more just seems a bit much on that card, to be honest, to get the full $800 value. The annual fee is $599. Again, metal card, ultra premium card, annual fee $599 really pegs it against the VIP cards, against other VIP cards in the market, and particularly against the Amex Platinum card. We are not going to compare it to the Business Platinum card again because this is a personal card. So obviously no foreign exchange fee because this is a passport card. $250 in annual credit, which is pretty strong, decent. 10 lounge visits. For an ultra premium card, 10 lounge visits seems a little. You know what I mean? Earn rates are strong because they're really pegging this as a travel card. And if you're booking all the things through Scene Plus portal, which is powered by Expedia, uh, 6x. So 6x when you spend or book anything through Scene Plus portal, only 2x on dining and 1x on everything else. But the good thing is, and I think one of our bloggers noted this, is there's no annual caps on any of these earn categories, which is decent. Uh, yeah. So just with that, and of course, there's the entire thing that comes with Visa Infinite series privileges and all of that that comes with, because I think it has the highest tier. You automatically become Avis President Club member, which is the highest tier. You get chance at getting almost like a double upgrade on cars. You don't have to stand in line and all of that with Avis. There's a few other things you can get with hotels and partnerships, and much like Amex offers, there's a few other offers in place that you'll be getting. So all of those things are decent. Of course, the Scotia insurance package has been fantastic, and this is no less just fantastic coverage on the card itself. But here's my question to you. For some of you that, or most of you that have the Passport Visa Infinite card, are the perks and the benefits of this ultra premium card enough for you to upgrade? That's the question. Yes, and Gig Sky, Heather is pointing out, you get I think two instances of 1 GB eSIM through Gig Sky partnership with Visa Infinite. So you get that too. So there's lots to like, but the crux of it is no foreign exchange fee, $250 in annual credit, up to 80,000 welcome bonus, 10 lounge visits, and the earned rates are impressive for travel, not as impressive for dining or everything else. Because even if you think about that everything else piece, right? All of the VIP cards in the market, be it the Aeroplan TD ones, CIBC ones, or even RBC VIP card, RBC Avion VIP card, they all earn at least 1.25, just like the Amex membership rewards, 1.25 on everything category. This one is only giving you 1x. So I thought that this was a little underwhelming there. But the obvious other thing is there's no annual cap. So if you are like a heavy traveler, if you travel with your family and you want to really put all your money through this card can be very lucrative for those that are not sort of pigeonholed into an airline, into a loyalty program, or into a particular alliance, and you want to be completely free. This is the card that really would give you that freedom to earn and exercise all of those exclusivity that comes with the card, including being a metal card. But my question to you, the listeners, is it enough for existing Passport Visa Infinite members to want to upgrade? Yeah, Heather has a comment here, which I kind of am leaning towards as well. Heather says, I'm going to go ultra. If I'm going to go ultra premium, it's going to be Amex Platinum because, yeah, even if you think from a sort of earned standpoint, I think I'm leaning towards the passport here, simply Scotia Passport, simply because there's a lot more potential. But purely in terms of what value the card gives you for 599, Amex Platinum sort of is still the leader in that ultra premium card market. So I don't think there's enough for me to choose this particular card over Amex Platinum. Uh, but again, the question is it enough for you to move from Scotia Visa Infinite to Scotia Visa Infinite Privilege? Haven't received any answers, but perhaps people are mulling over it. I think it'll come down to what kind of Scotia Passport Visa Infinite user are you? How heavy is your travel versus how heavy is it on dining versus how heavy is it towards everything else? If you have that card solely as your travel card for no foreign exchange fee, and you spend enough on that card without being tied to a particular airline, an alliance, or um, because again, the other VIP cards that I'm talking about is obviously the TDs, the CIBCs, which are sort of locked in with the Aeroplan loyalty program. This one is not part of any alliance or is not a co-brand card. So I can directly compare it to say an RBC VIP, Avion VIP card. And with that comparison, it's a lot better. It's much better. Um, so yeah, it depends on what kind of Scotia Passport user you are. If you spend a lot on travel, like actual spend, not flying on points, or flying just on points, then I think I would lean towards upgrading and getting this card. But if you are somebody that likes to leverage membership rewards, Amex membership rewards, for the flexibility it has and for everything else it offers with the card itself, be it dining credit, travel credit, in fact, both of those, and the other credits that come with the card and exclusivity through the concierge service and whatnot. I think to Heather's point, if you are going to go ultra premium, I think Amex Platinum would still be your card. Right. So that's my initial thought. The card is available right now for you to apply to. All of the eligibility criterias and such are fairly high. None of that is surprising, but it'll be interesting to see how this card goes in the market over the next few weeks and months. You'll see more and more of us covering it in the next few weeks. We are hoping that it can be brought on the affiliate. It can be brought onto affiliates as well. So there'll be a little more sort of analysis that we can put through this through our blogs and through our websites and through these forums. And I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit more, and we can do sort of more comparisons between the ultra premium cards and put this one in the mix as well. Right. What else can we talk about? So I wanted to also sort of, in terms of news and promotions, nothing big. I think we kind of mentioned this on our Discord group. The Stay Vancouver, Stay Richmond, the Edmonton hotels promotions are back on, and with a big change about the bookings now being non-cancelable. In the past, they have been cancelable, so have been very flexible. I wonder if their numbers are starting to suggest that many people sort of initially book it and then closer to the day have started to cancel, which is why they've become non-cancelable. I don't know. I tried to do my best to search on the website. It doesn't say much about what if it's a change in the rate or the booking that they're making, if it's going to go from flex booking to a completely restrictive booking, like in terms of uh, I mean, where they're pegging that booking at, you know what I mean? Versus if it's just one of those things that they're trying to get more confirmed numbers through their promotion. But anyways, heads up that these are now non-cancelable, non-refundable. So you have to be a lot more assured about your plan before you go on to use these Stay Vancouver, Stay Richmond, or even the Edmonton hotel bookings. Air France promo rewards for this month. Again, Ottawa gets the love, which I'm super happy about. 25% off of business class uh, if you're redeeming your Flying Blue points, which comes down to 45,000 to Europe. And then there's again about 25% further down. You can go Europe into Asia or South Asia and things like that. So yeah, if you're going to choose Ottawa as your gateway for Flying Blue, Ottawa continues to see good returns, a good value from the Flying Blue promotions. Um, right, this is what I had on my roster to talk about, to discuss. Anything else that I may have missed or you want to talk about? And because if not, we might be closing this one out within the hour. We've done well. We've done well, folks. What are you posting? Unique. Oh yeah, Heather. Yes, that I like that post as well. Emily wrote a recent post about unique challenges for female solo business travelers, and kind of had a discussion about does it have to be solo business travelers, solo travelers, and it goes both ways. But from her perspective and lens, she wanted to write about solo business travelers. Yeah, really, really good post. For those that may not have read it, please do, because obviously, as as a man going around, and I've said this before too, there have just been so many blind spots that I sort of learned along with when I started traveling for work, and everything from having women travelers, my colleagues that would travel with me, to all the far-flung places for work or for business would do things that would be very different from what I did. So yeah, it's a good post. You should definitely read into that one. Right. Okay, folks, let's close this one out. Right. So until the next time, whenever that is, maybe a week from now, maybe 10 days from now, but I'll see you then. But stay tuned on the social, on the YouTube page, on the Instagram page, because I'll be putting a little more content. But thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. Safe travels to everybody else that's traveling. Take care. Cheers, folks. Bye.